Hey everyone, this is Professor Hatch, and I am here to talk about the compare and contrast outline. So let's get into that. Um, share my screen here. Okay. So this is the assignment page on Canvas. Once again, it's going to look identical to the previous two. You don't have to do the stuff crossed out in red. You're going to be doing the same thing for this outline as you've done for the other two. However, it is going to look a little bit different. So we'll start by clicking on the template, and you're going to download it up here. I've already done that, so I'm not going to make you watch that part. And then I'm going to open it up. And actually, I'm going to retitle it up here real quick. Compare and contrast outline. Fantastic. Okay. So this assignment requires that you use two pieces of evidence in every body paragraph. So the first thing I am going to do is copy the first body paragraph here, and then I'm literally going to paste it in the second and third body paragraph. And now each body paragraph has room for two pieces of evidence. So I would strongly recommend for this, well, let's start with the things you don't need to include. You don't need to include any of the conclusion. That's not necessary. You also don't need any of this crap that I put in there. You need to get rid of these two things as well, because all you have to do for the intro is the thesis statement. And finally, let's get rid of the analysis parts of all the body paragraphs. Probably would have been smarter to do that before copying and pasting the entire thing to the other two, but hey, whatever. I'm sure it's riveting watching me do this. In any case, look at that. We're down to one page. That's going to change very quick. But anyway, so the thesis statement. You are going to be talking about how Malala, Marjan, and Ta-Nehisi all react or feel about one of four possible themes, those themes being education, war, poverty, and prejudice. So for the sake of this essay, I'm just going to go with education, I guess. So my thesis statement is going to be something like, well, they all have similar experiences in their backgrounds. Let's see, Ta-Nehisi, Hoots, Lala, Safsai, and Marjan Satrapi. I think I spelled Yusufzai correctly, whatever. Marjan Satrapi are all very different people, similar experiences in their backgrounds, blah, 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 blah. They're all very different people. And they all have very different attitudes about education. There. Again, kind of just a template I'm going from here. These people are who I'm talking about, and this is the context or the theme that I'm going to discuss them in. So that's not a great thesis statement, but it's not eloquent. It does 100% of the work it needs to be doing, which is all we care about. Maybe depending on how much shit you got going on in your life, whether you're a parent or I don't know, a child of parents who need constant care, or you've got like 3 jobs and you're doing school or whatever, it's fall and you decided I'm going to take 20 units because you were ambitious and now you're getting your butt kicked, whatever the situation is. Maybe this this thesis statement, I should say, is good enough for your final draft. I get it. That's totally fine. Is there a more eloquent way to phrase this? Of course, but who cares? It's doing the work it needs to be doing. So let's move on. Your body paragraphs need to discuss two of the people. You do not want to discuss all three people in each body paragraph. That's going to take up way too much space. You're going to go way over the word count. So my strong recommendation is to actually decide who you're going to be talking about in each body paragraph. And literally, you can just make it random. So I am literally just going to say Malala and Marjan in body paragraph 1. And then Marjan and Ta-Nehisi for body paragraph 2. And for the final body paragraph, I'm going to say Ta-Nehisi and Malala. So, and again, we're talking about education. I'm just going to highlight that. That is the theme we're talking about. So what would be, I don't know, what would be a good topic sentence for Malala and Marjan? Just off the top of my head, Malala and Marjan both have positive attitudes toward education. Malala is a wholehearted, I think that's hyphenated, a wholehearted supporter of it, while Marjan appreciates it, but has problems with some of the institutions within, I don't know how the hell to spell that, within education. Okay, so there. While Malala and Marjan both have positive attitudes toward education, Malala is a wholehearted supporter of it, while Marjan appreciates it, but has problems with some of the institutions within education. She grew up with, she grew up seeing schools turned into basically government propaganda warehouses, and they went from teaching people how to think to telling people what to think, which is very different. So, and then what would be a piece of context for that? Well, so we're talking about Malala and Marjan in this particular paragraph. So let's first focus on Malala. Malala feels that educating women across the world will improve the lives of everyone the world over. And then some quote from the movie. And then you need to paraphrase, or you need to cite, you need to cite your evidence here. So how do you cite a movie? The truth is, I'm going to let you look this up on the Purdue L. But however you have it listed in the works cited page, there are two ways to list a movie in the works cited page. You can list it by the name of the movie, or you can list it by the last name, last name, comma, first name of the director. So the director of this movie is Guggenheim Davis, I think, or Davis Guggenheim. I don't remember. He's got two first names, kind of. Or actually, no, he's got two last names. I don't trust him. Anyway, let's just say it's Davis is his last name. So the citation is just going to be Davis. That's it. There is no page number. I don't need a timestamp for the quote. But if you list it in the works cited page as the title of the movie, then you're going to put the title of the movie. And of course, because it's a title of a movie, you're going to put it in italics there. So whichever of those two ways is fine with me. Just be consistent. If you list it in the works cited page as the title of the movie, use that as the citation for the quote. Okay. And then of course, so here. And then let's go down to the context. Obviously, you would follow that quote with analysis, but you're not doing that for the outline. So now you need context for Marjan. There. Marjan grew up at a time when schools were changing from places that taught people how to think into places that told people what to think. And then some quote from the graphic novel. And then you need to cite it. And that's going to be Satrapi, which is the last name of the author, Marjan Satrapi. And then whatever page that came from, page 56, we'll say. And then there is your quote with a citation. And again, in your rough draft, you'll follow that with analysis, but for the sake of the outline, we just need to transition. Let's see. So the transition would be something, well, while Marjan and Malala don't quite see eye to eye on education, that should be a comma, she and Ta-Nehisi see things a little more in common, because Malala has problems with the institutions, some of the institutions in education, and Ta-Nehisi, of course, has a lot of problems with classrooms. What is his quote? The library is open, unending, free, and the classroom is a prison of other people's interests. So he has a general problem with just classrooms as an ideal. In any case, so there's your transition into the next thing. And then since the next paragraph is talking about Marjan and Ta-Nehisi, Marjan and Ta-Nehisi both have a healthy distrust of the education systems in their respective countries. There's a topic sentence for the second paragraph. So you can see how the transition is leading from what you're talking about in the first paragraph into what you're talking about in the second paragraph. And again, look at the formula here. In addition to X, also Y. While Marjan and Malala don't quite see eye to eye on education, she and Ta-Nehisi see things a little more in common. In addition to X, also Y. That's the formula for every transition I ever write in any essay ever. Okay. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. Remember, each body paragraph is going to have two pieces of evidence. And I'm just going to highlight those and all of these, because again, I'm going to upload this to the files section of Canvas. This must be riveting watching this, I'm sure. I apologize. Not really. But I'll say I'm sorry because it makes me sound nicer. It's boring for me too. I don't know what to tell you. I understand. Anyway, each body paragraph needs two pieces of evidence, and it has to be evidence in support of each of the people you're talking about. So in body paragraph 1, you're talking about Malala and Marjan. So you're going to be quoting from the Malala documentary and the Marjan graphic novel, Persepolis. In body paragraph 2, you're talking about Marjan and Ta-Nehisi Coates. So you're going to have evidence from the graphic novel and from Coates' autobiography. And then finally, we're talking about Ta-Nehisi and Malala. So again, you're going to be talking, you're going to be quoting from Ta-Nehisi's autobiography and from the documentary about Malala. Hopefully that all makes sense. I feel like it must make sense. But as always, if it doesn't, please text me on Remind with any questions. And as always, if you need to talk on Zoom here, get me on my office hour, which I haven't even figured out what my office hours for the semester are yet. I will do that soon. It's like, no, gosh, the 16th. So it's Wednesday night and our semester starts on Monday. So like 5 days from now, I'll figure it out soon, maybe tomorrow. You're going to be watching this video, I'm guessing, sometime in November, so you don't really give a shit when I figure that out. That will have been months ago. You'll know. You'll have known for months when my office hours are by the time you watch this. And so that makes the entire last minute of this video utterly pointless. Yeah, I'm going to stop. Text me and remind. I'll talk to y'all later.